Fired from HYBE, a former employee is now spilling secrets, including what really went on with BTS. Jin was accused of distancing himself from the group. V was told to jump into the crowd, but he said no. BigHit gives BTS fans a warning. And Jimin's book recommendations. Watch till the end to find out the full story. BigHit gives BTS fans a warning. 4 members of BTS are about to finish their time in the military, and by the end of June, all 7 members of the group will finally be back together. The group's company, BigHit Music, said that RM and V will be discharged on June 10th. The next day, June 11th, it will be Jimin and Jungkook's turn to return. All of this is happening quickly, and it means most of the group will be back within just 2 days. But instead of going straight home after leaving the military, the members are planning to show up in specific cities to say a few words to fans. RM and V will head to Chuncheon, while Jimin and Jungkook will go to Yeoncheon. These aren't concerts or meet and greets. They're simple appearances where each member will talk briefly about what it's like to be done with their service. BigHit Music also gave fans an important warning. The company asked them not to go to the military bases. They explained that these bases aren't built for big crowds. The roads are narrow and there's not much space, so large groups could make things unsafe. That's why there will be no official events at the bases, and why the other locations were picked for the short fan greetings. Meanwhile, the other BTS members are already done with their service or are close to finishing. After nearly 2 years of members joining and finishing the military at different times, this will be the first time since 2022 that all 7 of them are free to be on stage together again. Fired from HYBE, a former employee is now spilling secrets, including what really went on with BTS. A former top employee at HYBE has shared some serious accusations that are now getting a lot of attention. These claims come at the same time that the company's founder, Bang PD, is under investigation for possibly tricking investors into selling their shares to a private investment fund run by one of his close friends. South Korea's financial authorities have already searched HYBE's offices and are continuing to look into the matter. Another warrant tied to Bang's actions has also been submitted. On June 7th, Lee Chae-yoon, who used to be the communications director at BigHit, now HYBE, made a post on Threads that quickly went viral. She explained how she felt mistreated during her time at the company and accused HYBE of greed, unfair treatment of workers, and giving special rewards to people who didn't earn them. She said she had been fired in 2017 after giving her all to the company. Chae described what working there was like. She said it was common to get messages with work instructions late at night, even in the middle of sleeping hours, through apps like KakaoTalk. She said she kept her phone by her side constantly just in case. Over 2 years, she lost more than 15 pounds and experienced hair loss from stress. She claims she spent so much time helping the company's male idols that she barely had time for her own children. But in the end, the company told her she didn't match what they were looking for anymore and let her go. She said that after HYBE became successful, huge amounts of money, between $36 million and $72 million, were handed out to people who didn't help the company grow in its early difficult years. According to Chae, some of these people were friends or acquaintances of top leaders, and they used company credit cards to play golf, stay in fancy hotels, and drink alcohol, all while loyal workers were pushed out. In her post, Chae made it clear that she does not blame BTS. She said the 7 members fully earned their success and that she was happy for them. She believes they were the real reason HYBE grew into what it is today. Her anger, she explained, is directed at the people who took advantage of the company's rise to gain money and power, especially by buying up shareholder stocks at cheap prices behind people's backs. To back up her claims, Chae included a screenshot of a news article describing what happened after HYBE went public. The article said that 3 top people at the company earned massive bonuses. One former executive got around $72 million, and 2 CEOs, named Yang and Kim, each received about $36 million. These payments were described as rewards for their performance. The same article reported that Bang PD himself ended up with about $288 million in total, which included a $144 million one-time payment from Eastone PE and other sources. The way the money was split reportedly led to arguments inside the company, especially because most of it went to only a few individuals at the top. Even though Lee Chae-yoon hasn't worked at the company since 2017, she said she's not done yet. She plans to keep fighting legally. She described the whole situation as truly evil and said she would continue her battle quietly, following the law. Jin was accused of distancing himself from BTS, but fans quickly defended him. On June 8th, Jin was spotted at Gimpo International Airport in South Korea. He was flying to Japan to attend a fan event called the Echo High Touch, organized to celebrate the release of his second solo album, Echo. The event had originally been planned for May 31st but was delayed and later rescheduled for early June. Even though many fans were excited that Japanese fans would get a chance to see Jin up close, not everyone was happy about the timing of the trip. Some people online started questioning whether Jin would make it back to South Korea in time to welcome his fellow BTS members who are finishing their military service this month. As some fans started criticizing Jin online for traveling so close to the reunion, others quickly stepped in to defend him. They explained that since Jin completed his military service a year ago, he has stayed busy with solo promotions and events to stay connected with fans. They believed this fan meeting was just another example of his dedication. One fan wrote that Jin didn't need to explain himself to anyone and that being a fan doesn't give someone the right to control his actions. Others agreed and said the negative comments came from a sense of entitlement. Supporters also shared that Jin wasn't even away for long. He made a same-day round trip to Japan, attending the event and returning to South Korea that same evening. His quick return helped clear up some of the worries that he might miss the group's reunion or the Festa events. Fans reminded others that it's not up to strangers on the internet to decide what Jin can or can't do. They said his short, work-focused trip showed how seriously he takes both his solo activities and his role in the group. V was told to jump into the crowd, but he said no. At the Muju Film Festival on June 6th, director Taewa spoke about what it was like working with BTS's V on the music video for IU's song Love Wins All. Even though the shoot only lasted 2 days, said it made a big impression on him, and he would be thrilled to work with V again once he finishes his military service. Who won Best Director for his film Concrete Utopia, shared that V joined the shoot just before his enlistment. The filming wrapped in 2 days, and right after they finished, V cut his hair and left for the military the very next day. Said this showed how serious V was about doing the project, and that his passion for acting was clear from the start. He even joked that if needed, he'd write a role just to be able to work with V again in the future. When asked during the interview if he had sent V a message about his upcoming discharge on June 10th, replied that he already had. The interviewer then brought up the music video's massive popularity, saying that hundreds of thousands of people had watched it, and that the comments were full of fans asking to make a movie with V once he returns. Said he had seen those comments and shared a moment from filming that stuck with him. The original plan for the ending included a big scene where the characters, wearing wedding dresses, would sing on stage and then jump into the crowd to be lifted and carried, a move known as crowd surfing. Really wanted to shoot this moment because he felt it would make the ending more powerful emotionally. But with only 2 days to film, time was tight. The scene became stressful for everyone involved, especially the actors playing the crowd, who weren't sure how it would be done in such a short time. That's when V stepped in. He suggested they skip the crowd surfing scene and instead focus their time on filming another scene properly. Said that even though it was hard to let go of the original plan, V made a smart call. After agreeing to drop the scene, V turned to the crowd actors and told them the plan had changed. Everyone was so relieved that they cheered out loud. Explained that this moment showed more than V's acting skills. It also showed leadership and a clear understanding of how a production works. Even though he wasn't on set for long, he made a strong impact with both his performance and his ability to think on his feet when things didn't go as planned. Now that V is just days away from completing his service, fans are more excited than ever to see what he'll do next. Many are hoping he'll return not just to music, but also to acting. Um's praise has only made people more curious about the possibilities. Although their time working together was short, the experience seems to have opened the door to more creative projects between the two in the future. Korean soldiers attend Jungkook's discharge events. With just a few days left before BTS's Jungkook finishes his military service, fans in South Korea are going all out to celebrate his return. After serving for 18 months, Jungkook is set to be discharged on June 11th. But this isn't just a moment for fans, it's turning into a countrywide celebration, and even other soldiers are joining in. Around Yeoncheon, the area where Jungkook has been stationed, fans have decorated public places with posters, large banners, and life-sized cutouts of him. Cafes near the military base have also been turned into fan-themed spaces. These places are filled with Jungkook-inspired items like mugs, table mats, and signs featuring his photos. What caught people's attention the most was the number of soldiers showing up to these spots and happily taking pictures with all the Jungkook-themed decorations. Photos shared online showed soldiers posing with his cutouts, holding drinks, and smiling with souvenirs. People on social media loved it. They described the sight as sweet and called the soldiers real Jungkook fanboys. Many were reminded of past events like the Golden Anniversary cafes, which were also created by fans to honor Jungkook and were well loved by military personnel. The reason so many soldiers were visiting these cafes wasn't just curiosity. It turns out that Jungkook's fan club in Korea, called Jungkook Supporters, organized a special event just for the soldiers. From June 5th to June 8th, they offered free drinks, ice cream, and small gifts to anyone in uniform. The event took place at 2 spots near Jungkook's base, Coffee Bay and a Baskin-Robbins store. The response was immediate. In just a few days, the cafes served more than 230 scoops of ice cream and over 200 coffees. Even though the soldiers didn't have to pay for their treats, the event brought in more people to the area, which helped the businesses too. The effort also drew media coverage and praise from civilians. Fans appreciated how the event didn't just celebrate Jungkook, it also thanked other soldiers for their service. Jungkook struggles to have friends outside BTS, thanks to fans who don't approve. Recently, 17's Mingyu went live on Weverse to talk with fans about his group's newest song, Thunder. During the live stream, he shared that he wanted to film a dance challenge for the song and mentioned that he had talked to 2 fellow idols about joining in, including BTS's Jungkook. All of them are part of the 97 Liners, a group of K-pop stars born in 1997 who are known to be close friends. Mingyu said he had already spoken to Jungkook about the idea and planned to reach out to Jungkook again once he finishes his military service on June 11th. While the comment seemed innocent and friendly, it quickly became a trending topic online, and not in a good way. Soon after the live stream, some people started criticizing Mingyu. They claimed he only mentioned Jungkook to get more attention, especially since Jungkook's military discharge is right around the corner. Some even went so far as to say that Mingyu was using Jungkook's name just because he's a member of BTS, one of the most famous groups in the world. A few questioned whether the two were actually real friends at all. These accusations didn't sit well with many fans. People stepped in to defend both Mingyu and Jungkook. They reminded others that the 2 idols have been close friends for nearly 10 years, long before either of them became global superstars. They also pointed out that idols have personal lives too, and that there's nothing wrong with mentioning a friend during a casual live stream. One fan commented that Jungkook is a person, not just a member of BTS, and that he can have friendships outside his group. Others said it was unfair how some fans treat Jungkook like he's not allowed to be close to anyone else. They felt the hate toward Mingyu was unnecessary and came from people who were being too controlling. Many defended Mingyu directly, saying that his bond with Jungkook is well known and has nothing to do with chasing fame. They explained that the K-pop world is small, and idols often train together and build real friendships over time. Bringing up a close friend during a live stream shouldn't have to be seen as anything more than that. This situation brought up a bigger issue in K-pop: the pressure idols face when talking about their personal lives. A simple comment about a future dance video turned into a wave of judgment about who they're allowed to talk about or be friends with. Fans expect idols to be careful with their words, but sometimes that pressure becomes unfair. With Jungkook's return to civilian life just days away, any mention of him is now getting massive attention. Still, in this case, Mingyu didn't do anything wrong. Jimin's book recommendations. BTS's Jimin is known around the world, but there's another side to him that many people don't see. Away from the spotlight, Jimin is someone who enjoys quiet moments, thinks deeply, and reflects a lot on life. He's shared that one of the biggest reasons he's become this way is because of books. Over the years, Jimin has talked about how reading has helped him grow, not just as a performer, but as a person. He said in interviews and on social media that books have helped him understand his own emotions and see the world from different points of view. He doesn't just read for fun, he reads to learn, to feel, and to connect. One of the most meaningful books Jimin has recommended is The Notebook by Nicholas Sparks. This well-known novel tells the story of Noah and Allie, 2 people who fall in love but face many obstacles over time. The book shows how their love stays strong despite separation, challenges, and the passing years. Jimin shared that he was really touched by the story, especially its messages about loyalty, sacrifice, and the power of memory. It left a deep emotional impact on him. Another book that Jimin really connected with is Between Calm and Passion Rosso, written by Japanese authors Kari Ikuni and Hitonari Tsuji. The story is told from two different perspectives. Each author writes from one character's point of view. The book shows how love can be peaceful and intense at the same time, and how complicated relationships can be. Jimin said he was moved by how the story explored the emotional ups and downs of love, distance, and time. He admired how it showed that love can be both gentle and painful. Jimin also enjoys reading nonfiction. One book he's spoken about is Essays After 80 by Donald Hall, a poet from the United States. Hall wrote the essays when he was much older, looking back on his life with honesty, wisdom, and even humor. He talked about getting older, losing loved ones, and what it means to remember the past. Jimin said these essays gave him a new way to think about life and made him appreciate small, quiet moments. He liked how the book made him think about love and time in a deeper way. But Jimin doesn't only read serious or emotional books. When he wants something more exciting, he turns to fantasy. One of his favorite series is The Legendary Moonlight Sculptor by Hee-sung Nam. This story follows a young man named Lee Hyun who enters a virtual reality game to make money and escape his tough real-life struggles. The book is full of action, but Jimin said he really likes it because it also shows how the main character grows as a person. It talks about working hard, making friends, and overcoming obstacles, things Jimin said he can relate to. For anyone who wants to understand the person behind the performer, Jimin's reading list is a great place to start.